What an amazing performance by Yair Rodriguez, who becomes the interim featherweight champion and the second current Mexican champion. He put Josh Emmett to work, man, with those kicks. He was throwing some front kicks early on just to feel out the fight and keep Emmett at bay, but then eventually started mixing up the targets with his round kicks. He went to the leg and that was successful. He went up to the head afterward, but this was to condition Emmett when Yair threw another round kick, and Yair knew that Emmett was going to block up high, exposing the body, and that was when the first big body kick set the pace for the fight. And notice when Yair landed the kicks, he would punch right afterward. Same side combinations were very effective against Josh Emmett, but it was kick-punch instead of punch-kick that you're used to seeing from guys like Robert Whittaker. And of course, he mixed it with some Taekwondo kicks as well, which oftentimes do not have big steps. They don't have these setups that you can see. They're very hard to react to. And a good example of this is when he threw the question mark kick from his stance to crush Emmett's guard, which creates an opening for Rodriguez's punch to get through. Not only that, you would see the hop-beat round kicks as well. These generate a huge amount of power that you see from a lot of Taekwondo fighters, and it's actually very similar to when Valentina Shevchenko knocked out Jessica Ai. That's the kind of power that the hopping round kick can generate. And not only that, notice the times when Yair decided to throw the round kick. It was usually when Emmett would lower his levels, because whenever you see Emmett plant himself, he's ready to attack. At that exact moment is when Yair put that to a stop with the round kicks. Because Yair never allowed him to settle, Emmett started blitzing down with these big overhands and stuff like that, making his attacks obvious. Almost every single right overhand he threw was evaded. This was perfectly executed by Yair Rodriguez, but we do have to note that Emmett did land on Yair flush in that second round. I mean, if Emmett wasn't discouraged enough, he landed 2 full power punches on Yair's jaw. One of them he actually moved into, which will amplify the power, and Yair ate both of those shots, man. He wasn't rocked at all. And these are the kind of punches that ended Michael Johnson and Ricardo Lamas. I believe Emmett also has some of the most knockdowns in featherweight history, and he could even rock Yair with his hardest punches landed. That is insane, man. It also creates a lot of confidence in Yair's ability to take maybe even Alexander Volkanovski's punches when he goes up and fights him next. Just swinging for the bleachers, trying to get the big knockout. He was clearly behind in the fight, and he tried to make something happen. I mean, it got to a point where Emmett was completely oblivious of what Yair was doing. Then when the spinning feint came, and then faked like he was going to throw a back fist, Emmett lost his balance reacting to those feints. He had to catch himself against the cage. And that's where Yair threw the flying knee, and look at Emmett's reaction to it. He lowers his head, closes his eyes, lifts his knee upward thinking it's going to be a leg kick, and with his hands he's defending his body. He thought it was going to be a leg kick, a body kick. He did not expect a flying knee to come at him, and he actually takes it full on to the face. Good chin from Josh Emmett as well, man, and that's a big reason why Yair was attacking his body so much. You can have as good of a chin as you want, you will not be able to take those liver shots, and that's where the grappling sequences came. And the methods that Yair went to in order to get that triangle was beautiful, man. So notice right here, Emmett's hands are not forward, they're not on top of Yair, and because of that, Yair is not able to grab a hold of them. But as soon as Yair started landing elbows, it forced Emmett to defend himself, bringing his hands forward, and that's when Yair got a hold of them. And as this happened, he went for an armbar. As soon as that failed, he switched into a triangle choke, landing more strikes off of his back, hammer fist here. And what this did was it forced Josh Emmett to get closer to Yair, so the distance for the strikes are not going to be there. But as he gets closer to Yair's body, he secures the triangle choke on himself. This was a clear example of how important strikes off your back can be. And the tap comes, man. Amazing performance from Yair Rodriguez, and I'm so excited to see his fight with Alexander Volkanovski. That is going to be an exciting fight. I'm very interested to see how Volkanovski is going to handle those kicks. Hopefully he doesn't strike the way he struck with Islam Makhachev, because things might get pretty tough if he does that against Rodriguez. And how does he handle the guard if and when, I would actually say, Volkanovski decides to take this fight to the ground. It's an interesting fight. I do expect Yair to be a big underdog, but in reality, I think he has a really good chance of becoming an undisputed champion here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown, and if you did, make sure to give this a thumbs up. If you enjoyed my content, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.